Hello everyone, I hope you enjoyed the foundation block, and now we are going to do a quick overview of the next block, the cardiovascular block. This short video will just do a quick run through the cardiovascular block and also the outline of the mission roundtable and debrief. In terms of the content of this block, we have a 4-week mission, but it will actually be spread over 4 weeks because of the Easter break in the middle. There's only going to be one spacewalk of the recommended learning resources, and you'll be able to work through that at your own pace. And we're very fortunate to have my colleague, Dr. Mark Melin, joining us for the Meet an Expert session. This is the third time that he's come along, and he's a very distinguished vascular surgeon in the US, so that will be a great session with lots to learn. During this block, we will also be embarking on a parallel mission to explore the LEGO Education Build to Launch modules and learn more about the Artemis 1 mission and the wide array of skill sets and teamworks needed in order to achieve the successful launch of a space exploration mission. There's a separate section of Canvas for the LEGO Build to Launch series, and there's a tile on the home page, and we recommend that you have a look at the detailed background information which is available. And there will also be some material there that should help you generally with your learning. There is some preparation needed for the mission roundtable and debrief, otherwise known as the tutorial, and that includes people being allocated to present a brief recap of what you learned from the 2 spacewalks in the foundation block, and the student names will be listed on Canvas. Please make sure you undertake these tasks and come ready to participate in discussion. On the assessment front, there is the group video assignment to keep working towards, and you should also aim to complete 2 short reflections for your e-portfolio. The first to support your written report due in September, and a spin-off reflection to support your final e-portfolio reflective piece, which is due in October. And just a little reminder that there's a number of spin-off resources available via the spin-off tile on the Mission 2 home page. The tiles for this block are fairly standard, with one for the Mission Roundtable and Debrief, the extravehicular activities, also known as the Spacewalk, which is your recommended learning resources, the Meet an Expert session, Build to Launch Module 1 and spin-offs. And the dates for the 2 sessions are listed there. The Meet an Expert session will come first, and the tutorial will come at the end of the block. For inspiration, we have the wonderful set of NASA Mars Explorer posters, and I thoroughly recommend that you take a look at these. And there's also the list of extension resources for you. In terms of the spacewalk, the layout is standard, and it includes an introduction, the spacewalk aims or learning objectives, explore, which is the learning resources, review, discuss, and extra resources. The learning outcomes for the block are listed there, so it's a good idea just to have a look at those before you start on the learning resources, just so you can keep them in mind as you work through things and make sure that you can tick them off. There are 8 topics to work through for this block, and some really interesting physiology going on there, so I hope that you will enjoy exploring those. In terms of review, there are some flip cards for you to work through and check that you know the answers to those. There's a discussion Padlet which has 3 specific points for this block and 3 general points, so I encourage you to put some contributions there to share with your fellow students. And then there's a number of extra resources that you can have a look at if you're so inclined to do so. This is what the Lego Build to Launch presentation looks like. So there's a module overview, and it explains how the material is going to be incorporated into your tutorials. And then there are a number of tabs for you to work through. There's the videos, which are included in Module 1. They're just short videos. And then there's some related thought-based activities, which we will work through in tutorials, and also some design-based activities for which we will have some special tutorials later in the year. This is a picture of the spin-offs tile and tabs. So there is general information and also the resources page, which has quite a long list of resources for you to choose from. In terms of the mission roundtable and debrief, there's a tab for the tutorial tasks and also the Zoom link, which is just the standard recurring link that we'll be using for the whole year. We'll again start with an inspirational video, then the recap for the foundation block, and as I mentioned, the allocations will appear on Canvas. Then some breakout room activities for critical and creative thinking. And there's also a Padlet to help you as you work through those activities in your breakout rooms before reporting back to the main group. With the small group discussion, depending on how much time we have and numbers, we will either give you a chance to discuss all 3 of these points, or else allocate one of these points to each particular group. And just a little tip in terms of knowing which group you're in: if you have a look at the top of your Zoom room window, you'll be able to see which room you're in, and that will be your group number. The 3 discussion points will look at a comparison with cardiovascular health on Earth, with countermeasures, and also monitoring and telemedicine in space. And finally, we will have the mission debrief for the foundation block, and this will be a chance for you to share any feedback that you have about what you enjoyed most, what you didn't like quite so much, and what you think we could improve for next time. And please bring along any constructive suggestions you might have, or also any questions that you would like to ask. Thank you. I'll look forward to seeing you for the cardiovascular block.